Hey there, I'm Colin Weston, host of the Mod Golf Podcast. I have another one of our guests in our season 11 to join us today. Just finished up our long form audio podcast on the Mod Golf Podcast. Amazing conversation with a serial entrepreneur, and her name is Lydia Davies. And Lydia is the CEO and founder of TeeMates Golf. So rather than me tell you what TeeMates Golf is and what they do and why they do it, I'm going to have Lydia join us here, and she's going to do it. I don't want to treat this like Shark Tank or something like that, where I'm putting you on the spot to give us the pitch, but give us the pitch. Tell us first. Tell us about TeeMates and what it is that you're doing as a mobile app.
Well, thank you for having me, Colin. It's so great. Such an honor to be on your podcast. So TeeMates Golf is a community golf app linking golfers worldwide. We're touting it as the LinkedIn for golf. You can find new people to play with. You can post things on a news feed. You can create a store in a marketplace, and everything is golf, golf, golf. So we're really trying to get people together so that you don't have that awkward thing where you show up to the first tee and you're paired with someone that's way better than you, or just someone that doesn't match your style of golf. Or if you're new to town and you don't have anyone to play with, you can post on there, find golfers in your area, meet them, become friends with them. They can be a regular golf group. It's all about being inclusive, creating a community, getting more women out there, more youth out there, more beginners out there, because golf is such an awesome sport, as we know.
Absolutely. And one thing you mentioned and talked in detail on the podcast, once again, I'm not going to get too much into that conversation because we want to encourage all of our viewers here to become listeners. And of course, down below, we'll include the link to our podcast episode, so you can go there and give it a listen. But you had mentioned that you launched the app in the summer of 2021, July, I believe, if I got that right. You've been developing it for over a year. So you decided, hey, I'm in the middle of a global pandemic. I'm going to create something brand new. What gave you the courage and the motivation to decide during a pandemic was the best time to do that?
Honestly, whenever there's a kind of crisis situation, my brain becomes full of ideas. And it's the time when I like to be creative, because it's something to think about that's not the horrible things that are happening in the world. So I kind of just come up with these ideas. And when I was thinking about that one, I just thought, there's been so many times when I've been in that situation when I wanted to go play myself, and I would like to go with another female or another beginner, or, someone that's not on a different level than me, and I haven't been able to do it. And I just thought, that would be so great for when people are traveling for work or any of those different scenarios, where you could just find someone to play with. And honestly, during that time, real estate was a little weird because everything was locked down, and you're kind of showing clients houses in masks and gloves, and it was all a bit bizarre. So I just wanted something else to focus on, and I just started going nuts with the with the TeeMates.
I love it. And I'm very supportive of this, because history has proven, whether it's previous recessions or even a global pandemic 100 years earlier, coming out the other side of that was the most kind of robust economic time afterwards. So it definitely trended upwards. So if you wait and you're flat-footed until things are good again, whatever good is, or your definition of good or great, it's too late. So it's been proven that during tumultuous times, chaotic times, uncertain times is the most fertile ground for innovation. And it sounds like that's what you've done. And you're now poised to hit the ground running, even though golf has become very COVID friendly. That's why it's been so popular over the last 20 months or so during COVID, is it's naturally socially distanced. So you're certainly harnessing the energy on that. So I wanted to ask you this question too. Once again, I don't want to grind you too much like I'm an investor here. You got to answer all these questions and tick these boxes, but there's great ideas that then turn into hobbies that take up way too much of your time as passion projects, because this is not a nonprofit. You are putting a business together here. So tell us in your mind with what you've done on the business side of this, how is TeeMates looking to make money?
Well, you mean our revenue model?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, luckily I had learned from starting businesses before that the second you think of an idea, try and create a business plan, or at least the framework of a business plan. So I actually did that really early on, and created different revenue scenarios because I wasn't quite sure where it was going at the very beginning. I created an entire marketing plan, a business plan, set up the corporation. And then as time went on, kind of ideas changed a little. And we were trying to be really inclusive about the community. So now we're adding in, we have our marketplace. We're adding in some upgrade features that help with golf playing, betting, live scoring, that kind of stuff. And then we're going to be adding in-app advertising campaigns for courses so that they can promote their courses and post things from their pro shop or fill their own tee times. Because at the end of the day, we love golf and we want golf courses to do well, and because we want to go play on them. So it's really about getting everyone involved in the golf community and finding ways to fill in gaps and help each other and get everyone as successful as possible.
Gotcha. Okay. So we always talk about when you're putting a business model together is what you're creating this service experience product. Is it a B2B, a business to business, or a B2C, business to consumer, or is it a hybrid? Is it a dual marketplace, as we call it? So it sounds to me that you see the greatest opportunity to generate revenue and add value is on the kind of the business, the B2B side, to attract them and then make the platform for users like all of us, for golfers, as a freemium model for the most part.
Correct. Yeah, correct. It's a hybrid model, but it is more based on the B2B. But there's so many different avenues for it. Like we've created our own golf stuff as well, which we might end up selling on our own store within our own app. So there's so many different ways to, I think as long as you create a good foundation, you can come up with all these different tangents to create revenue, and be creative about it and make it fun, and find gaps in the market that you didn't know existed as you continue to improve on your business.
Absolutely. And part of the messaging is your brand also. And part of your brand is the logo you have for TeeMates, which I really like. I just saw that on your website when I was looking for a second time this morning, doing some research. It's like, that's really cool. And myself as a designer, I'm, if I didn't like it, I probably just wouldn't say anything about it rather than insult you about it. But I do really like it. So tell us about that, because it's important. Your brand, your name, and the consistency is very important. So I love that. So rather than you trying to do that yourself, tell us the story behind that and how the logo came about.
Well, the logo, I have to say, the logo drove me insane because I'm a creative person, so I like things like that to be perfect. And I kept doing it, the T and the M like that over and over again in circles, and trying to find a way to incorporate something golf related. And I just kept failing at it. And I eventually, one of my great friends, Jo Nieder, who works at Nieder Creative, I sent it over to her and she just got it right in a day. And there it was, what I had been trying to do for months.
Love that. So once again, a great entrepreneurial nugget of wisdom there for everybody out there. It's like, you don't have to do it all yourself. You should realize, your strengths and those gaps that you have. Then rather than trying to learn something, whether it's coding, like we talked about earlier on the podcast, do you learn all that or do you actually outsource that? So that's the tricky thing with entrepreneurship. There's no set playbook for what you should do when. Sometimes you have to go on gut, and other times experience, and also asking other people what you should do at other time, which is why advisors and mentors are so important, which I intentionally did that little segue there because I want you to talk a little bit about that, Lydia, since you're not doing this all by yourself, kind of struggling to figure it out in isolation. So how important are mentors and advisors for you, not only what you've done with TeeMates, but also other things that you've done in the entrepreneurial space over your career?
Oh, I mean, beyond important. It's what shapes you and helps guide you and direct you. I think if you if you try and do it all yourself and don't ask for help or run ideas by people or watch people, I don't think you'll get to where you need to go, honestly. I read a lot. I've read a lot of startup books, how to create your own company. 0 to 1 is a great book. There's so much like research and things that you can find, good literature. I think it's important to talk to people that have created successful businesses. Even my father, for example, he had his own oil business back in the day. And so he's been a really helpful resource, just asking, how did you fundraise? What did you do? Like so many different things. And there's a lot of people in Houston that we have spoken to that have come up with successful businesses. And, we've asked them about the grind at the beginning and what steps did you take? And do you think we're doing this right? And I think just sitting down, just offering to buy them a cup of coffee or lunch and just getting their words of wisdom has helped to shape this so much. I think it's really important. And then if you read about, other female founders of Spanx, of Bumble, and just reading their stories and how they got there, it's really insightful.
It's good. That's great stuff. Thanks for that. And with that, with us being a woman founder, a female entrepreneur, we know that, I know because I'm in this space. You know it because you're living it. I don't think enough people know, and more people do need to understand that women make up 51% of the world's population. Women do not make up 51% of CEOs and founders of companies, and even less the percentage of companies that are founded. It's getting better, but it's still less than 10% of funding goes to female-led companies and startups. So with that, are there any organizations out there that you could mention if some of our viewers here that are women that are entrepreneurs or considering entrepreneurship and have some ideas that have helped you, maybe an organization or two that supports, whether it's in Houston or in Texas or even nationally, that you can recommend that women can have a look at for resources, tools, perhaps funding, or even support and community?
I honestly think any women's groups in your area are a great resource, like a Chamber of Commerce. I know that the Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce has a lot of great ideas and people in there that can help you out. Joining some kind of charity just to network and talk to those people. I work closely with the American Heart Association, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs there that are donors or part of the organization that I have gained a lot of knowledge from. Joining startup groups, just happy hours even. There's a couple here. There's Cup of Joey on Friday mornings where a bunch of startup founders and investors get together downtown and just chat. And there's tons of women that go to that. Same with there's happy hours that go on. I think the important thing is just joining groups and talking to people. And, trying to be a part of things that women are involved in, the charity, The First Tee here, which we support. It's run by, there's several women that help run it, and just talking to them, they have made a lot of effort to get youth involved in golf and underprivileged youth, and just getting ideas from those kind of people that are in your industry is so helpful.
Yeah, that's wonderful advice. Because you're not in this alone. You definitely need to connect. And you've mentioned that several times, that give first mentality, to put yourself out there and offer help for others and just have conversations. People aren't going to steal your ideas. Entrepreneurs want to help each other. We need to have that support system. Exactly. We both talked about that it is like our therapy sessions that we have with other entrepreneurs, which is so true. So, hey, to finish up here, Lydia, why don't you let our viewers know where they can either download the app and find out more about TeeMates Golf?
Well, you can go to our website, teammatesgolf.com. You can download the app on the iOS or Google Play Store, TeeMates Golf. You can follow us on Instagram. We're very active every day. We have giveaways all the time, so you can win some cool stuff. It's at TeeMates Golf. Same with TikTok at TeeMates Golf. And you can just, search the web press. We've been lucky enough to have some good press and collaborations with people. And if you want to get in touch, just send us a message. If you're in town in Houston and want to play golf, find me on the app and I'll play with you.
Nice. Who knows? Maybe I'll get on the app, and even though I'm up here in Vancouver in Canada right now, on a snowy day here in Vancouver, I'll get a chance to play a round of golf. I'd love to play a round of golf with you. That would
Yeah,
be
that would
amazing.
be so fun. Well, we have year-round golf in Houston, so it's
Well, we
something.
do too here, but it just happens to be raining and like 38 degrees sometimes. So we've got to be tough. We're Canadian. We're tough. We can handle it.
Yeah, I would have managed that, but
We're okay. So hey, Lydia Davies, founder and CEO of TeeMates Golf. Hey, thanks for joining me a second time today on the Mod Golf podcast. I've really enjoyed our conversation.
thank you so much, Colin. This was really fun. It was great to talk to you, and thank you so much for having me.